Shankara Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Shankara Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramanari Govinda 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 Jaya Jaya.
My dear friends, a very, very heartfelt welcome to you. Let's do something we always do. Just one Om, deep breath. Okay, before we do the blessings, I will do what is customary. Some of you are used to this. I'll ring this bell, which means that when I do it, you hear the vibrations, you're stuck in your seats. The only way you can come out is because if you have a need to use the sanctuary of release. Straight ahead, right there. Okay, here we are, getting stuck to your seats. Wonderful. Once again, a heartfelt welcome, Sally Jo.
Yes, thank you. My name is Sally Jo. Welcome all to Interfaith Community Sanctuary Sunday service. And we're so happy to have you all here. And we're also, at this time, we take some moments to welcome other guests who may be appearing more in another realm, in the invisible realm. And those would be our ancestors. We're inviting in our ancestors in the way that we understand that term. And all of us, each of us, can understand it in our own personal way. Some of us will think about our blood relatives, our parents. My father, for example, who's passed on, his birthday was yesterday, and I'll be inviting him and my mom in. And we'll be thinking about the people that came before us that maybe we have met and know and have inspired us in various ways. We also think about the longer range of ancestors of everybody we're related to, because in the long term, we all came from one seed, right? Wherever life began, life began. And that is a mystery. And all the forms of life that came, that preceded us, and that we, our brothers and sisters accompanying us on the planet at this time, are all interrelated. And we like to use the Native American term, all our relations. So we take a moment here to pause and invite them into this space with us, because we find that that is an inspiring and uplifting practice to think about and be inspired by the people who have come before us, and not forget them, but remember them in a very, I think, sincere and devotional way. So we do that at this time. And then we will honor our first peoples, which is another tradition we have where I'm going to let Chris do that for us today. He's going to read a short prayer.
So, Haichka Siem, thank you so much, Creator. Ancestors, for the good guidance you share with us each day and when we need it most. Prayers for all who need some light in their days, to learn to listen with their hearts. Learn to listen to the spirits in the wind, which touches their own. Aho to all my relations. Aho.
Thank you so much. And in honoring our first peoples, we recognize that we are sitting here today on the unceded land of the Coast Salish people, and particularly the Duwamish tribe, who are still here with us today and who still help us to steward this land and all the creatures on it. And we thank them for their presence here, and we thank them for their stewardship of this land. And as many of you know, as a community here, we do make an offering every year to the Duwamish tribe through Real Rent Seattle, which is one way we can give back a small, tiny portion of what has been taken away from them over the years. So thank you. Now, we also honor the Divine Feminine every week, and I'm asked Isla to do a chant for us honoring the Divine Feminine. And maybe she'll tell us the words, and then we'll sing along with it if we can.
So I've chosen a chant. It's to call in the energy of the goddess of Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. And the words are Om Namo Kuan Shi Yin Pusa. Om Namo Kuan Shi Yin Pusa. Om Namo Kuan Shi Yin Pusa. And then I'll follow that with the chant Om Mani Padme Hum, the jewel in the lotus, which is associated with Kuan Yin. Om Namo Kuan Shi Yin Pusa. 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 Om Namo Kuan Shi Yin Jian Busan. Om Namo Quan Jian Busan. Om Namo Quan Jian Busan. Om Mani Padme Hum reminds us of our divinity. Roots in the muddy water, but the beautiful flower blooming. We can transform ourselves. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum,
Thank you so much, Sister Ayla. Let's go do a wonderful wave at Sister Ayla. Okay, my dear friends, let's once again do one or two ohms, deep breath. One more time. It just struck me that we haven't done something we used to do in almost every service, greeting one another. So let's sing Om Shanti Om, I am a peaceful soul. Om Shanti. How does the tune go? I forget. Om. Om. I am a peaceful soul. Om Shanti Om. I am a peaceful soul. I'll leave you to stand up kindly. Om Shanti Om. I am a peaceful soul. Please greet somebody. Stand up and greet somebody. Om Shanti Om. I am a peaceful soul. Om Shanti Om. I am a peaceful soul. A few more times. Om Shanti Om. I am a peaceful soul. 3 more times. Om Shanti Om. I am a peaceful soul. 2 more times. Om Shanti Om. I am a peaceful soul. Okay, last time. Om Shanti Om. I am a peaceful soul. My friends, congratulate yourself. You have survived this. Please have a seat. One more chant, being a chant junkie. Allahu Allah, praising divinity. Knowing that when we praise divinity, God or Goddess doesn't become holy, we become holy. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Just the beloved women, please. Just the beloved men. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Beloved family. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Once quietly. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Twice aloud. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. And becoming very still, as the mystics say, allowing the vibrations to perfume our hearts. Okay, my dear friends, the topic today is time. The mystery, the enigma, you might say, and the passage of time. You know, I'm thinking of a wonderful chapter from the Quran called Al-Asr. It's about time. And the words are Al-Asri. Innal insana lafi khusri. Illa allazina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasa bil haqqi wa tawasa bis sabr. So the first sentence, Al-Asri. Innal insana lafi khusri. Meaning, by token of time, humankind is in loss. By token of time, humankind is in loss. So I'm going to repeat some of the mullah stories you have heard. The first one, all allegorical. The mullah is in the tavern, drinking. He's drunk. It's 4 a.m. He steps out of the tavern. He stumbles on the road aimlessly, and a policeman accosts him. Sir, who are you? Where did you come from? Where are you going? What does the mullah say? Sir, if I knew the answer to all those questions, I would be home already. By token of time, humankind is in lost. Who am I? What am I doing here? Where am I going? Think about it. We are drenched, immersed in mystery, total mystery. That's why I love the words of Rumi, sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. Sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. From Taoism, I love those words of Chuang Tzu, which, you know, at my age, it resonates a lot. When Chuang Tzu in Taoism says, You know, I fell asleep and I dreamt I was a butterfly. I fell asleep and I dreamt I was a butterfly. And I woke up and I got very confused. Am I Chuang Tzu dreaming I'm a butterfly? Or am I the butterfly dreaming I'm a man? It's very confusing. Very confusing. Just be with that bewilderment. But you see, then the mystics say we don't quite fully grasp that because we're stuck at what is called knowledge of the tongue. But things happen, death of a loved one, change of circumstances. Suddenly, I wake up. That becomes knowledge of the heart. And so, if you study the world's traditions, that confused story of, why am I here? You know, sure, I have my holy books, but they don't have any footnotes. I come on earth without any mission statement. It's absurd. But over the arc of life, if you look at Hinduism, you're a student, then you become a householder, you get married, mortgage problems, you know, this problem, that. But you solve it, you resolve it, you go through that. Then you become a forest dweller, meaning in those days in Hinduism, they would actually go in the forest to meditate on what was all this about. And they come up with answers. That's called the forest dwelling stage. And the fourth stage is you become a spiritual aspirant. So in the traditions, they say it doesn't matter what stage of life you're in, life is really about, whether you know it or not, consciously or unconsciously, about, number one, becoming a more complete, evolved human being, more Christ-like, Buddha-like, Elohim-like, Krishna-like. Number two, being of service to God's creation. Whether you know it or not, you're being of service to God's creation. And some say third one, to really understand that we need and we live in community. Okay, just be with that story. This is what's happening on the journey, the mystery of time. Okay, the other one which I repeat all the time in wherever I speak. Mullah goes to London Museum, and there's a very famous learned professor who says this is 1,000 years old. Mullah says, excuse me, sir, it's 1,004 years old. Happens another time, 30,000 years old. Excuse me, says the mullah, it's 30,004 years old. Happened the third time, 50,000 years old. Excuse me, 50,004 years old. Now the professor gets really annoyed. Sir, you have a beard, you have a turban, which tells me you're from the mysterious East. But how can you be so laser precise about those dates? Simple, says the mullah. I was here 4 years ago. At that time, you mentioned those dates. So I know you've heard this many times, but for me, for a long time, it was knowledge of the tongue. Now that I'm in my age that I am in, it's a knowledge of the heart. Wow, time is precious. It's later than you think. What are my priorities? Why did I get so enmeshed in the trivialities of life, all my dramas and melodramas? It's okay, that's life. So just ask yourself, what are my priorities in life? It doesn't matter what stage of life you're in. Time is precious. Okay, a third mullah story. Again, let's ponder on this with the knowledge of the heart. In those days, 13th century, people didn't have showers at home. They used to go to bath houses. So the mullah goes to a bath house. He's dressed as a peasant. He's a peasant. And the two attendants there give him no attention. No perfume, no soap, no massage. But as the mullah leaves, the two attendants are astonished. Why? Because he gives each one a gold coin. They are stunned. Next month, mullah comes back again. Oh, they recognize him. They give him the best of treatment. Best of treatment. But as he leaves, what does he do? He gives each one a measly copper coin. He says, these copper coin is for last time. And what I gave you last time is for this time. So just be with that. It's about life. Cause and effect in life, they're not linear. They're not linear. They could be circular, which is why there's so much of uncertainty. And it's a world of opposites. Every tradition says it's a world of opposites. High is defined by low, long by short. You have joys, you also have sorrows. There is suffering. There is suffering. It is inevitable. Can I accept it? The uncertainty. What in Taoism is called the inevitability of suffering. That's noble truth number one if you study Buddhism. Yes, there is dukkha, dissatisfaction. It's okay, accept it. There's joys also, but it's a world of opposites. I'm thinking of a wonderful verse from Tao Te Ching, from Taoism. When autumn comes, when autumn arrives, no leaf is spared because of its beauty, no flower because of its fragrance. When the season of autumn comes, no leaf is spared because of its beauty, no flower because of its fragrance. There's an inevitability of this cycle. There is joys, there is sorrows. There is suffering, dukkha, says the Buddha. So now, some of us here have studied for weeks after weeks that Book of Joy talks about, yes, there is suffering. So what are some, rather than talk too much about it, just some phrases about the most important things about suffering. Like Islamic mystics say, if it's inevitable, don't run towards suffering, just don't run away from it. Don't deny it, don't avoid it. I repeat, this is the most, for me, the most important insight. Don't run towards pain and suffering because it's inevitable. Just don't run away from it. That's why we have this poetry from Rumi, the dark thought, the shame, the malice. Greet them at the door laughing. Each one has been sent as a guide from beyond. Or Khalil Gibran, that Christian Lebanese poet, the more that sorrow carves into your being, the more that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy it can contain. Don't run towards pain and suffering, just don't run away from it. And the most important point for me, which is so beautifully articulated by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu, they say, Brother Jamal, they say very compassionately, the way you acknowledge, heal, and most importantly, reframe your suffering. The way you reframe your suffering determines your character, your being, and most importantly, it sculpts the destiny of your life. Brother Jamal, the way you are reframing your suffering sculpts the destiny of your life. Pause. Let me ask myself compassionately. Brother Jamal, I ask you to ask yourself, in what ways have I been, after I acknowledge, heal, integrate, in what ways am I reframing my pain, suffering, difficulties in my life? Just be with that. It has to emerge from within you. Of course, listen to advice from other people, but from within you, it has to emerge. That is authentic. Okay. Al-Asri, time. Innal insana lafi khusri. Surely by token of time, humankind is in loss. Al-Asri, innal insana lafi khusri, illa allazina amanu. But wait a minute. You need faith. You need to grab onto something to really navigate your way in life. Otherwise, I'm living a life of manageable depression. Living a life of manageable depression. I need some hope. I need faith in something higher than human personality, greater than human institution. It's not about just being religious, superstitious. I need to have an anchor. Call it God, call it goddess, call it truth, call it justice, call it service. Something greater than human personality, greater than a human institution. Faith. I love those words of Tagore. Faith is the bird that sings in the dark, knowing that dawn is coming. Faith is the bird that sings in the dark, knowing that dawn is coming. And then the Quran says, there are several stages of faith. You have to move from borrowed certainty. Brother Jamal, if you want to have faith, move from borrowed certainty to inner knowing. It has to emerge from within. The first stage is hearsay, but that's just hearsay. Second stage is you self-witness, you look around, you see for yourself. Third stage is you experience it. It emerges from within. Rumi gives a metaphor. It's like the flame of a candle and a moth. The moth first hears about the flame. It's just hearsay. Faith based on hearsay. Then looks around and sees the flame. That's the second stage of faith. But then the moth actually goes close to the flame and feels the glow of presence. That's the third stage of faith. So ask yourself, have I built faith? But it has to emerge from within. It has to move from borrowed certainty to inner knowing. Quran says, yes, if you have faith, you know what the Quran is saying. You hold on to the rope of God. There's a verse that says, to the handhold of God. Have faith, says the Prophet Muhammad. Take 1 step toward divinity. Divinity takes 7 steps towards you. Walk towards God. God comes running towards you. Have that faith. But you got to build it from within. Al-asri innal insana lafi khusri illa allazina amanu wa means and amilu swalihati. You also have to do some righteous work. And every holy book has this. The Quran emphasizes it again and again, which I, as a Muslim, I avoid, I deny, because it's so inconvenient. It is to do the inner inconvenient work of becoming a more complete, developed, integrated human being. More Christ-like, Buddha-like, Elohim-like. And the Quran even lists the stages. You've got to tame your ego from a commanding master into a personal assistant through compassionate self-witnessing. The Quran goes on to say you've got to purify the heart, polish the heart. It's very irritating. Rumi has a verse on this. He says, Brother Jamal, if you get irritated by every rub, how will the mirror of your heart ever be polished? The Quran goes on to say, and even that's not enough. You got to open your heart, break open your heart. I see that Amber is here. Amber, do you remember that poem? Take a pickaxe, break open your stony heart. Come here and tell us about that. Amber is a Rumi resident scholar. Take a pickaxe.
Take a pickaxe and break open your stony heart. Your heart is glutted with rubies. Springs of laughter is buried in your chest.
Again.
Take a pickaxe and break open your stony heart. Your heart is glutted with rubies. Springs of laughter is buried in your chest.
Do you have any other one you want to share today? By the way, you look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Anyone, if you have.
What is this? Love and laughter bubbling up from inside of me. Well, listen here. It's the sound of my soul's waking up.
Okay, one more time.
What is this? Love and laughter bubbling up from inside of me. Well, listen here. It's the sound of the soul's waking up.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Amber. Okay, my friend, so this inner work, transforming the ego from a commanding master to a personal assistant, polishing the heart, purifying the heart, cleansing the heart, and then opening the heart, which comes from embracing not only my 10,000 joys of life, but also my 10,000 sorrows of life. Like Amber said, take a pickaxe and break open your stony heart. The heart's matrix is glutted with rubies. Springs of laughter are buried in your chest. So ask yourself, am I doing the inner inconvenient work? Prophet Muhammad said, don't worry. You're doing it whether you know it or not. He said, every hour, every day, every week, every month, everything I say, everything I do, I'm either, because of the free will I have, by the choices I make, I'm either ennobling my soul or diminishing my soul. It's happening every day, whether you know it or not. Becoming a more complete, developed human being. So just ask yourself, am I doing the inner inconvenient work? What else could I be doing? Because that's how he become fulfilled. Which is why Buddha, what was the Buddha's last dying words? As he was dying, the Buddha said, be a lamp unto yourself. Work out your salvation with diligence. Be a lamp unto yourself. Work out your salvation with diligence. Am I doing that? Ask yourself. Okay, moving on. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Can I be of service? That's the other reason I'm here. Can I be doing righteous deeds? So what is righteous deeds? You know, if I look in the Quran as a Muslim, again, it lists all the criteria. Number one, if you're doing righteous deeds, if you're being of service, number one, Brother Jamal, give freely of what you love. That's number one. Give to those who ask, those who don't ask, and those who can't ask. Number three, Brother Jamal, if possible, only if possible, the Quran says, give quietly, without any show. It goes on to say this will atone for some of your wrongdoings. And the fourth one, and by the way, this is not just in the Quran, every holy book has that. And in the fourth one, very important, all the traditions is, Brother Jamal, your righteous deed that you do it. If you're giving, give it without any attachment to the prizes or prestige it brings you. So ask yourself, am I being of service to God? Are you doing it whether you know it or not? Am I conscious of it? And those wonderful words of Tagore, why it's so important to be of service. Some of you know it by heart. I slept and dreamt life was what? Joy. Thank you. Do you know this one? Do you know this one? Do you know this one by heart? Come on over. Okay. Amber will tell us about service.
I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I woke and found that life was service. I served. Service was joy.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Say it one more time.
I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I woke and found that life was service. I served. Service was joy.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Amber. Thank you. I slept and dreamt life was joy. I awoke and found life was service. I served, and lo, service was joy. And Prophet Muhammad, was asked about, what do you want me to do? Prophet Muhammad said, you don't have to be grand. He said, do good deeds according to your capacity. God never tires of giving rewards unless you, Jamal, you tire of doing righteous deeds. The deeds most loved by God are the ones that are done regularly, no matter how small they are. Do good deeds according to your capacity. The good deeds God never tires of giving rewards unless you tire of doing good deeds. The good deeds most loved by God are the ones that are done regularly, no matter how small they are. Ask yourself, what deeds could I be doing regularly? Doesn't matter how small. They add up. Al-Asri, Innal insana lafi khusri illa allazina amanu wa amilu salihati wa, meaning and, wa tawassa bil haqqi wa tawassa bis sabr. Meaning, can you gather in communities? Can you create community? And in the Quran actually emphasizes to share teachings of patience and truth. We all need community, genuine community. Remember those famous words? Even prophets needed companions. And of course, I think every time I speak here, I quote Rumi because it's drummed into me. A wall standing alone is useless. Add to it other walls, it can support a roof, even a granary. Only when ink joins with a pen can the blank paper say something. I need community. Do I have community in my life? And the mystics say, you know, the most important community, or one of the most important communities, is a community within yourself. Do I have a good relationship with myself? Do I have a compassionate, do I have a loving relationship with myself? Because every relationship outside of myself is a reflection of the relationship I have with myself. Which is why I call myself all the time Brother Jamal. I talk to myself often, Brother Jamal. I have this relationship with myself. I talk to myself. I have that sacred name, Brother Jamal. I suggest each one of you give yourself an affectionate name. Brother Jamal. You can call yourself beloved child of God. What else could you call yourself? Give me an example. What do you call yourself?
Sweetheart or loving one.
Terrific. Anybody else? What would you call yourself?
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Beautiful. But call yourself with, drench it with compassion, love. Have a relationship with yourself. As I've said many times, and I mean it so sincerely, I am never in my life bored because I and Brother Jamal have constant conversations. And it feels wonderful. I don't feel lonely because of that. And remember, every relationship outside of yourself is a reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. And so many times we've talked about this. In America, you've had all these extensive studies about happiness and longevity of life. Remember the Harvard study? By now it's 85 years, I think, old. What is the number one factor that determines a person's happiness? Is it yoga? Is it affirmations? Is it walking? It's, do you have relationships in your life? Doesn't have to be perfect, that are reliable. That is a number one factor of happiness and also, amazingly, longevity of life, which was confirmed by the Brigham Young University study. And the shocking thing for me was, shocking when you're excited, but number two was how you treat people you meet casually. The teller in the bank, the mail person, the clerk in the store. That determines your happiness in life and also your longevity. So ask yourself about your relationship. Can you create one? The first step for me is create it with yourself. Bless you. Okay, bringing it to a close, I'm looking at the time now here. Having thought all those different things about the passage of time, Innal insana lafi khusri illa allazina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. So that part is finished. Just three minutes now. Very important for me is in this journey of life, in this passage of time, what have you learned from people in your life, loved ones, for example, who have passed on, but that have impacted you? So, for example, for me, the first thing that comes to mind, because my parents have passed away, I've had such a close relationship with my father and mother. I always think of my father. Very often I think of my father, for example. So, what is it about my father in the course of his life, now that he is gone, that has taught me something which has impacted me? Well, he was a very, utterly optimistic person. He used to attend a lot of world conferences. He was a diplomat, and he learned this one phrase from in Algiers World Conference, non-aligned conference. Pas de problème. They speak French, also there. There's never a problem. There's always a solution. Always a solution. When I think of my father, I always think of that Zen story, if you remember. On a moonlit night, that monk's house was burned to the ground, accidental fire, on a moonlit night. And all he does is look at the moon and says, finally a perfect view of the moon at night. Optimistic. Or the famous story by Attar, a very famous Sufi master who advises, tells a story about a king who is so depressed in bad times and gets so overly excited in good times. And he asks for advice, what shall I do? And his council of advisors, they inscribe on his ring, they say, keep looking at your ring in good times and in bad times. What did they write on it? This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Okay, what else about my father? So I'll make it short. Very authentic human being, which I love about my father. That's why I love that saying by Rumi, Brother Jamal, don't wear all these different masks. Don't put on all these different masks. Because your real face is so beautiful. If only you knew. Don't wear all these masks. Get rid of those masks. Because if only you knew, your real face is so beautiful. Anyway, I could go on, but let me move to my mother quickly. The other person I love very much who has passed on. What would I say about my mother? I'm thinking immediately that comes to my mind. And I'm thinking that she has taught me one thing. Son, be flexible in life. Be flexible. Which is why I quote all the time, blessed are the flexible, for they will never be bent out of shape. Can I be flexible? My mother was incredibly intuitive. Incredibly intuitive. Which made me realize in my later years that inside by Rumi, there's a different kind of intelligence beyond book learning. There's a different kind of intelligence beyond book learning. And he says, Rumi says, if you don't believe that, look at the bees. They collect nectar. Look at the spider. It creates a beautiful web. Beavers make dams. How do they know how to do that? They didn't go to graduate school. It's a different kind of intelligence. Okay, last thing about my mother, she loved nature. So my understanding of God is from this Christian wonderful insight where this person looks at this lady looks at an almond tree and says, "Oh, sister almond tree, tell me about God." And the almond tree blossomed. Oh, sister almond tree, tell me about God. And the almond tree blossomed. Okay, very quickly, I'll just mention 2 or 3. Well, of course, I must mention Karen, who has passed away. Sally Jo has taken her place as co-minister. Karen, I've known her for 32 years. The joy of friendship. She was such a dear, close friend. There is such a thing as the most incredible, joyous, precious friendship. In this case of 32 years. I remember the words of a British philosopher, having a good friend is like on a cold wintry day, warming your hands at the central fire of life. So I think about my parents a lot. I think about Karen a lot. Who do you think about? I think about 2 more people I should mention. 2 people who took their lives. I think about them a lot because, one used to be so humorous, would laugh all the time. But she took her life. Another one was so successful in life. I mean, she got national awards from President Clinton. Gave her a medal. She took her life. Why am I saying this? It just made me realize, Brother Jamal, don't be quick to judge people. Everybody has a story. If people are rude or crude, be gentle. So I've learned, from that I have learned 2 things. In dealing with people who are difficult, to really, of course, if I'm angry, it's righteous anger, but restrain your anger. That's why I love that saying of Rumi, quoting the Quran, when you're angry, lower your voice. How do you overcome anger, manage anger? Lower your voice. Rumi says, it is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. And the second advice I've learned very much from Al-Ghazali, a Sufi master, who says, change the tone of your voice. The tone of your voice can be more important than the content of what you're saying. That has stood me in great stead in dealing with people who are difficult. I've learned from these two people who have passed away. Don't judge, restrain your anger. Remember those two things. Lower your voice. Change the tone of your voice. That's very critical. And the last thing I will say is, I've learned is, Brother Jamal, don't gossip. I've learned to really limit my gossip, or try as much as possible not to either do gossip or even listen to gossip. The words of the Buddha really stand out for me. Dwelling on your brother's or sister's faults multiplies your own. Dwelling on your brother's or sister's faults multiplies your own. And the second one by Rumi, and I'll stop right there, is Rumi says, veil the faults of others so yours might be veiled. I love that. Veil the faults of others so yours might be veiled. Okay, I always also mention the main teaching from Taoism. The biggest problem human beings have, I'm talking to myself now, Brother Jamal, the biggest problem human beings have, they just don't know when to stop. So let me stop right there. And looking at the time, let me just do a short meditation. Just close your eyes. I mentioned the Buddha several times. What was the Buddha's most favorite technique of meditation, which he did primarily all the time, was just this, focusing on the nostril and then simply being with the breath. As we inhale and as we exhale. Just do that. Connect to the breath within the breath. Okay, letting go of this right now. And this time, please focus on the heart, the mysterious organ. We talked about mystery a great deal. The heart is so mysterious. Focusing on the heart. And there's a wonderful revelation that came to the Prophet Muhammad in a dream where God says, beloved one, God says, I cannot be contained in the space of the earth. I cannot be contained in the space of the heavens, but I can be contained in the space of the loving heart of my devotee. The space of the heart is infinite. The space of the heart is the wellspring of love, healing, transformation, empowerment. Just be with that mystery as you focus on the infinite space of the heart. And here's my favorite practice in meditation, as also in my waking hours, as often as possible, telling the heart, I love you, or you are loved. I love you. You are loved. Try it. No matter how awkward it might feel initially, I love you. Or you are loved. If you find other words, alternate words, use that. I love you. You are loved. And now letting go of that. And the last step in meditation, as also in waking hours, focusing on the infinite space of the heart, which is filled with sacred vibrations, focusing on the heart and through intention, pouring out light and love, sending out light and love in an outward, expansive direction to stones, to trees, to animals, to people. Wherever you're going, just pour out light and love. Try it, please. A few more seconds, radiating through intention, light and love. And now stop saying anything at all. Let's do the chant. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallahu. La ilaha illallahu. One more time. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallahu. La ilaha illallahu. And now some beautiful music from our beloved Sister Ayla.
So this is a chant to Lord Shiva. One of my favorite translations of his name is the doer of good. And this is a petition to Lord Shiva to sever us from disease and illness and death as a cucumber would be severed from the vine. Triambakam yajamahe Sugandham pushtivartanam Urvarukamiva bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamam aritat Triambakam yajamahe Sugandham pushtivartanam Urvarukamiva bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamam aritat Triambakam yajamahe Sugandham pushtivartanam Urvarukamiva bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamam aritat Triambakam Sugandam Vashtivatanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Varichor Mokshyamam Haritat Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandam Vashtivatanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Varichor Mokshyamam Haritat Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandam Vashtivatanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Varichor Mokshyamam Haritat Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandam Vashtivatanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Varichor Mokshyamam Haritat Om Shanti Om Om Shanti Om Om Shanti Om Om Shanti Om Shanti
Thank you so much, Ayla. Thank you. Thank you. Ayla, you do some, Ayla is a long-standing beloved member of our community who does regular chanting programs. When's your next one?
Friday night.
This coming
This coming Friday at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. this Friday, chanting with Ayla Ross. And right here, that's right. Thank you so much, Ayla. Sally Jo,
Yes, thank you again. I love beautiful. Thank you all for being here. This is the time in our service when we give back to the community so that we can preserve this wonderful historic building built in 1890, and it's the oldest wood frame church in King County that is still functioning as a church, and we're proud of that, and we try to keep it in the utmost good condition and able to serve the community here and also other communities around. We partner with other communities and have programs here, many different programs every night, every day, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And we thank the people online who are able to donate through the website and through the, we have a QR code back there. If you don't bring cash and you'd like to do that, you can scan that QR code in the back and also donate that way. And we welcome all of the donations, because every bit helps to make it possible for these programs to go forward. And we are an all-volunteer community, and the volunteers here give so much of their time and energy and expertise to keep the building well kept. You know, we had a broken window here recently. We had a crack in the ceiling. We've had things that happen. And we are very proud and happy to say that our members really help us by stepping up and giving us the advice we need and the expertise we need to make all that better.
Sally Jo, you want to do a prayer? Joe studies many world's religions. Sister Sally Jo also knows the Quran very, very well.
Well, you gave such a beautiful sermon. Let's see. I don't know what I could add to that, but I will say that, let's see, there was a verse that came to my mind a few minutes ago. In the name of God, the infinitely compassionate and most merciful, truly, whosoever surrenders his or her whole self to God and is a doer of good has indeed grasped the most trustworthy handhold. So it's about that faith and a higher handhold that we can grasp whenever we allow ourselves to do so. And we pray for that ability to do that. Thank you.
Blow on this, and may your gracious, generous giving be returned to you manifold, inshallah.
And I'm going to go on and talk about some of our upcoming gatherings. First of all, everybody's invited downstairs right after the service, for we have a wonderful lunch planned and set out for you. And everybody's welcome, whether you brought something or not. Don't worry about that. We have food, and we have drinks and food, and we'd love to get to know each other. And there are some people who've here for the first time or haven't been here in a long time. Get to know each other a little bit, greet each other, and find out what we're all doing here. This would be an interesting question on a beautiful Sunday morning. And also, we after the Sunday service, we have a service every Sunday at 10 a.m., and next Sunday is our fourth Sunday of the month. And on the fourth Sunday of the month, one of our congregants shares with the congregation their own spiritual journey and some things they've learned from that. And next Sunday, Nora Grace is going to be sharing about the medicine wheel and what she has learned about the passage of time through the year and how that affects the people, all of us, creatures in the world, through the medicine wheel, which is a Native American study that she's been very deeply involved in. So Nora Grace Udding will be sharing with that next week about that. And then during the week, we also have classes and programs. We have classes that meet online, classes that meet in person. A Course in Miracle meets every week. The Medicine Circle that Siswinkle Laura Boucher guides meets once a week on Zoom, and then once a month in person. And you can find all the upcoming gatherings on our website. You can also sign up on the website to get an email every Monday about what's coming up this particular coming week, every week, because there are special events. And this coming Saturday, we have a very special event which is happening. Jamal Rahman is always, yes, always, Jamal's always worried about ending his sermon before he goes overboard. But on Saturday, we've given him permission to speak all day long and teach us all day long. We did give him 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, Ember, you're going to be helping me keep him to that, okay? And this is a day-long experiential program, and Jamal will be guiding us through meditation, chanting, practices, some writing practices, some prayer practices, some movement, some Dance for Universal Peace. There will be all kinds of opportunities to be in community. We hope to have at least 20, 30 people who will be together sharing and exploring our spiritual life together. And this is a day off from the world. Okay, you'll enter this space right here. We'll have the doors open and we'll have the windows here, but it's a day off from the world to come explore ourselves, our inner selves, and our inner journey, really. And it's a wonderful opportunity. And we haven't had an in-person class in a while, usually once during the summer. And most of the time Jamal teaches online because most of his classes people attend from all over the country, and sometimes even in other countries. And they like that, and we like that. But this weekend, it's going to be in person with each other, enjoying each other's company and our explorations together. So talk to Jamal and myself if you'd like to sign up for that class. There is a small tuition for that, and we do ask that you'll bring your own lunch or what you like to eat for lunch, because everybody has their own preferences. So there will be lunch, and we'll provide beverages and cookies. Jamal insists that I bring cookies because he likes cookies so much. So we'll make sure he has his cookies.
Thank you,
And you can pick up a flyer if you want to keep that information, but also ask me if you want to register, because you got to be on my list to get all the details before Saturday. And then there's also a meditation group that meets on Thursday. Most of the groups, of course, we just ask for a love offering if you come, and you can bring a couple dollars to put in the plate. But George Ramirez has his meditation group on Thursday. As I said, the Course in Miracles and other things. So please join us for whatever speaks to you, whatever sings in your heart. We want you to be nourished during the week.
A nationally recognized dance university.
Right, and we have a program scheduled. What's our new date? I forget. October 3rd. It's also a Friday evening, but not a Friday evening when Isla's going to be doing her program. It's another Friday. It's a different Friday, the first Friday in October, October 3rd. And do you want to tell us a little bit what you're going to be doing, Elizabeth? Because we haven't had Dances for Universal Peace here at ICS for quite some time.
I've seen it in different cities in America, in the World Parliaments of Religion. Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much. I'm just delighted to be here and to have joined as a member now. And one of the things I'm going to do is to do Dances of Universal Peace that will be singing sacred phrases of all the different traditions, not all but several different traditions of the world. And I'm going to do it on October 3rd. And we'll have live music, and I'm not sure what else, because we're just a movement, singing with movement, singing with movement. Yeah, and I sort of explain it as it's sort of spiritually oriented folk dancing, but it's not fancy folk dancing, it's the folk dancing and the folk singing. And what did we call it? We called it like spiritual connection through music and movement, which I really like as an explanation of it. So I hope you'll come. I'm just delighted to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, we reconnected with Elizabeth, who's come back in the area, and we're so happy to have her here to teach us these dances. Jamal knows a couple of them, and I know a couple of them, but I forget, because I used to come to your place, where you did it in Wallingford.
It works.
It's the kind of dancing anybody can do it. Anybody can make it up, too. You just have to have the energy to do that.
You do simple things like levitate. That's it.
Well, we haven't had a talent show in a long time, Alan, but we're going to come back to that one. Anyway, we want to say goodbye to the folks online now. Oh, Janine, is there some other announcement we have? Oh, I'm sorry. I usually ask for that. Okay, I didn't.
We did, especially when we have a big crowd. I've come here for, 9 years, and I can't remember people's names, and I know them so well by looking at them. We did come up with an optional little basket with some name tags. So feel free if you're interested. That's all.
And get it right. And you can even get it now so that when you go downstairs, when you talk to people, you'll be able to introduce yourself, and they'll be able to remember your name for at least 10 minutes.
It's super rudimentary, and this is what it looks like, and it's on the podium.
We don't get fancy too much in this place. We keep our fancy stuff for our building, which we just think is just fantastic. So, again, thank you all, and thank you to the folks on live streaming for tuning in from all over. We thank you for being here and for supporting our work. And then we'll let Jamal do